Welcome to Pinkies Up.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Here, we aim to answer questions that regular people like me have about wine. And on this episode, we are answering the question, what wine should I drink for Oktoberfest?
Welcome to Pinkies Up, a series where we answer questions normal wine drinkers like Bridget have about wine. I'm Nick, and I'm here to answer these questions in a way that makes sense, whether you drink your wine with your pinky up or you drink it in a solo cup. Let's see what's going on this month. Well, Bridget.
Well.
We know your favorite time of the year is probably September, late September, early October, Oktoberfest season, birthday season.
Big month overall. So.
All of the things, a lot of things happening. You are an expert at the Oktoberfest. Let's get this USA cup out of the middle there.
Right. Yep. Okay.
We are talking Oktoberfest, but we're drinking out of USA cups because we want you all to know we are good red-blooded Americans.
Or it was the available cup.
There's a lot of water in it. And I'm very excited for this one. We know Bridget's affinity towards Oktoberfest, but in particular, Oktoberfest beer. If you didn't hear the amuse-bouche about that.
My love story to Oktoberfest beer, my love letter. So, but what if you want wine? Yeah,
there's a lot of great German wine. And Bridget, what do you have to say to my statement that there's a lot of great German wine?
I disagree. I think there's a lot of sweet German wine that people like that are not me.
So for this episode of Pinkies Up, I took on the challenge of let's find some German wine that Bridget might like, or more importantly, that you at home might like. But we're going to make Bridget decide what wine would work for you. Who might like these wines? I grabbed seven different German wines.
Too many.
Red and whites, still and sparkling. Yeah. We're going to taste them and we're going to see what we think.
I'm pausing because I'm so hesitant here. I'm on board with sparkling, and I think my prediction is that I might even like a chilled red in this situation.
So here's the deal. I'm trying to set everything up for success as much as possible. Yep. We know Bridget likes cold drinks very, very cold and warm drinks very, very warm.
Yes, the proper temperature is all I'm asking for, okay?
So we have the white wines super chilled.
If you're watching on YouTube, you see our massive ice bucket here.
And we have the proper aromatic white wine glassware that'll also work well for these aromatic reds.
Sure, and a giant dump bucket.
Could you show the giant dump bucket? Because just in case, we have a giant dump bucket.
It's a noodle pan. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I'm going to say it is.
It's my sous vide pan.
Oh, it's a sous vide pan.
So we're going to start with bubbles.
Bubbles. Okay, great. So you're setting me up for success to start, huh?
Now, most people know German wine as Riesling.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that Riesling can be very dry, very sweet, or somewhere in between. Riesling can also make sparkling wine. Usually, when we think of French sparkling wines, it's Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier. But Riesling sparkling wine.
Oh,
cheers.
So sweet.
Prost.
Oh, wow. I was really expecting it to be like way too sweet.
Did you see that I managed to get that in the trash from here?
I know. I'm usually very good at that, and I miss every time I'm down here. So this is alarming to me.
Yeah. So this is Robert Weil. Weingut Robert Weil. They are a newer German producer, only having started in the 1870s, which is one of the interesting things about German wine. But they make this Riesling Sekt is what it's called, S-E-K-T. Sekt means sparkling in Germany. And the Germans have a very rich tradition of making sparkling wine. They always liked what the French did in Champagne and other places. They, invaded France a number of times and took back a lot of their sparkling wine. So the Germans started making their own domestic sparkling wine. They really like it. They drink a lot of it there, but some of it's starting to come to America as we like more sparkling wine. So this is Riesling Sekt.
Why is this not as obnoxiously sweet? 2 for 2 with that, Nick. Why is this not as obnoxiously sweet as most Rieslings?
So Riesling really is a grape that can be a wide variety of styles.
Okay.
If you let it ripen, it will get very ripe and have a lot of sugar in it. Now, you can either ferment that to dry, which will give it a lot of acidity, a lot more aromatics, or you can stop fermentation early, leave a bunch of the sugar in there, and end up with a low alcohol, very sweet wine. It can be good in any of those conditions. A lot of it has to do with where it grows. But this one was fermented to pretty much near dry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like this.
So this is a Brut sparkling wine.
Yeah, and that was what I was looking at.
So that means they added a little bit of sugar back, but not too much. They made a dry wine from the Riesling, and there you go.
Is it really Brut, where most people say Brut?
Yeah, it's Brut.
Yeah, it looks like Brut. Okay, interesting. I'm looking at the label because I've never noticed this on the shelf, I should say.
Yeah, we don't have this in the store because, believe it or not, German Riesling isn't a huge seller. But we really like Robert Weil. They are a super family producer. Remember, it's spelled W-E-I-L.
Weil. I know. I'm really
But we have to say Weil.
looking forward to
Weingut Robert Weil.
pronouncing all of these.
So that's fun. So we started with bubbles.
Yeah.
Do you think people, if they like sparkling wine, this is?
Yeah, if you're, yes, 100%. Not if you're the sparkling wine person that wants the sweet sparkling wine, but Shannon, for example, would love this because it's really not too sweet. It's also a great option for an Oktoberfest because you're celebrating, and it's like, if you don't like beer, of course.
But if you
like beer.
Most people drink the Oktoberfest beer, but this is great.
I love this as an option that is not painfully sweet, which I came in with that preconceived notion, everybody.
Okay. Next.
Okay.
So, Bridget, as you're looking at German wine, something that might also, was that cold enough for you?
That was lovely. Thanks. I did get worried they weren't going to be cold enough.
Something to look for is this says
Trocken.
Trocken. So Trocken means dry. Oh. So if you ever see Trocken on a label,
Trocken,
that means it's going to be a dry wine. There's plenty of dry wines. A lot of German wine is dry. And in fact, most people are kind of getting away from sweet Rieslings and going more towards dry Riesling.
Well, look at me.
But this one is not a Riesling. We have another not Riesling. We're showing the wide world of German vines. So what we have here is a Weisser Burgunder. We talked about how the Germans continually steal stuff from the French. Well, this is a Pinot Blanc, which is 100% a French grape. And
what makes it German, Nick?
Well, they call it Weisser Burgunder, which means the white wine from Burgundy. But really, Pinot Blanc doesn't come from Burgundy. It comes from the Alsace, which between the Franco-Prussian War of 1870 and World War I was part of Germany.
Wow,
so,
that's a stretch. It also has blue on the label.
It has blue on the label. So anyway, this comes from Weingut Wittmann, which is another really cool family-owned winery that we really like. It's imported by a company called Lucen Brothers. So if you are buying foreign wines in America, they have to be imported by someone. And if you look for a good importer on the back of the label, that's always a good way to make sure you get a good deal. Lucen Brothers is an excellent producer or importer. They make some wines, they import stuff, so look for that. Okay. So this is a dry Pinot Blanc, comes from Germany.
I don't know anything about Pinot Blanc. Like, I can't think of a not German Pinot Blanc that I've ever had. This might be my first.
So, I should dump this.
So I have nothing to compare it to, I guess.
So there's a couple different types of Pinot. There's Pinot Blanc, which is the white Pinot. There's Pinot Gris, which is the gray Pinot. And there's Pinot Noir, which is the red Pinot. And they all are eventually related to Pinot Blanc. It's the parent grape. It's just a very crisp, dry, aromatic white wine. So if you don't like Pinot Grigio, Pinot Gris are the same thing. Pinot Bianco, Pinot Blanc are the same thing. Pinot Nero, Pinot Noir are the same grape.
Okay.
Just Italian versus French. The French came up with it first. If you don't like that Pinot Grigio is kind of like too fruity and a little too sweet, but you like kind of the crisp white wine, Pinot Blanc is a great way to go because it's crisper, more aromatic.
Yeah.
It's very light-bodied.
That's exactly. My non-educated way of saying it would be watery.
Yep. For sure.
It is crisp and refreshing, but it tastes like ice cubes melted in it for me. Sorry.
It was closed when I had it in the ice cubes.
I know, but that's just because I like full-bodied wines.
What I think that's interesting about this is the best Pinot Blanc in the world comes from the Alsace in France. This tastes very, very similar. It's not grown that far away from it. It's also grown on riverbanks, just like it is in Alsace. It really is about the same quality as French wine. It's a little bit more money.
It is more money?
Just because of German production.
Had to travel further.
Stuff. Yep, stuff like that. But it's really the same quality.
It really is nice. Again, you're surprising me that it's not a painful, sweet wine, because again, we all know that's what I came in expecting. It's just not, it's just a little light for me.
And I can't believe you've never had a Pinot Blanc.
I don't think I have, unless you've fed it to me.
The one of the things too about this is these Pinot Blancs used to not be as good. But climate change has been very kind to the German wine industry.
Very helpful.
And it's let them ripen some stuff and not have frost and not have mold and things like that. So that is something that's been helpful. So they're growing, I don't want to say normal varietals, but varietals that a lot of us know better, like Pinot Blanc. I'm sorry, Weisser Burgunder.
Weisser Burgunder.
And they're really good. so the Germans can make wine. So if you want to celebrate Oktoberfest and you like Pinot Blanc, you can find it.
This one you could pound a few glasses of. You could drink a boot of this. Yeah, as Nick did. Thank you.
Okay, where should we go from here?
I don't know. I'm so far been surprised.
Okay. So let's get into more of what you expect.
Gewurztraminer.
So I touched on climate change a little bit there, and Germany has always had challenges with getting grapes ripe. They've grown grapes forever, wild, and obviously when Christianity came to Germany, sacramental wine's really important. Anywhere priests went, monks went, they had to grow wine. So rich history of growing wine to support sacramental needs. So they decided in the 1800s to do some science experiments with their newfound agricultural knowledge. This is a time of great innovation and progress. And they crossed Riesling with some other grapes to, hopefully get it to yield better, grow better, all the things. And one of the creations, kind of like Frankenstein's creation, is called Muller Thurgau. And this is a white grape variety created by Hermann Muller. He was from Switzerland, actually. And it's a crossing of Riesling with Madeleine Royale, which I have never heard of in my life. But anyway, the purpose of this grape...
kind of wine?
Yep.
Oh.
Is to be a more hardy, easy to grow, better yielding version of Riesling. So basically, if you want to pump out wine, Muller Thurgau is a great option for you. It had its moment in America in the 2000s because it creates off-dry wine that is cheap.
You're not making this sound good at all.
And to this day, I have people come in the store and ask for this, and I say, it's not that good. We don't really sell it. But
I'll order it for you.
But I wanted to bring in this one and try it to see if there is good Muller Thurgau. This comes from a company called Hegger that is a very quality-focused, avant-garde German producer. They do biodynamics, things like that. This is a dry wine, not a sweet one.
Oh, okay.
I figured let's try it out. If you are of a certain age where you saw some of these new German wines really making it in America, you might be interested in Muller Thurgau. Theoretically, it should be aromatic, crisp, delicious, like the nice parts of Riesling, but just a little bit more fruit to it.
This sounds like I would love it.
Let's see.
Not too sweet, a little fruity, light, crisp, refreshing. But I just don't feel like you set it up very well.
Well, my experience with Muller Thurgau has been it's garbage. But
you don't say.
But this is a different example. And a producer I haven't tried before.
Tastes like Riesling, but not as sweet. I mean, and inexpensive. I would guess this is an inexpensive Riesling. The end.
It's not very good.
I mean, this is hard for me because I don't like Riesling.
So the thing is, like, good Riesling has a lot of acidity and a lot of structure on the back end. This has, like, some kind of fruitiness and it's just, like,
it just tastes like fruity, watery juice, which is what Riesling tastes like to me.
Has nothing fun on the back end. I mean, it's
fine.
Bad.
Yeah.
But it's just, like, it
tastes like a cheap wine.
Yeah, it's like $17 retail.
Oh, I actually thought it would be cheaper.
So it's not cheap.
Wow. Sorry.
Muller Thurgau. Don't buy it. You're going to see it. Somebody's going to try and tell you. The hipsters are all over Muller Thurgau.
I mean, it's fine. I just don't think that German...
Effing hipsters.
What are you looking for if you're looking for German wine? None of these have been, like, the greatest wine in the world so far.
Well, Germany makes some of the greatest wines in the world. They're Rieslings, the good quality Rieslings. I'm not wasting any of my good Riesling on you.
Yeah, we've already drank it on some other podcast episode.
But...
We had our...
3 for 3.
Didn't we do a Riesling episode?
I think we did.
Okay. It's been so long.
Yeah, that was disappointing. All right. This one I know you know what this is. This is Gewurztraminer. And this comes from Villa Wolf, which is the importer, Lucen Brothers. They're kind of everyday drinking project. They make some very nice wines for about $12 US retail.
Is that what this is or no?
And this is Gewurztraminer.
So Gewurztraminer is what we always talk about on like dinner plus drinks, that wine should evoke a feeling of memories of family, and that I will like this regardless of the fact that I really won't like it, because it has nice warm memories and happy feelings about of Tyler's grandpa. Like it will always remind me of that, and so it does its job in that way. I will say that before we dive in.
Gewurztraminer is another French wine from Alsace that made its way across the border.
Boy.
And you can call it Gewürz if you want.
Okay.
And it means spicy wine.
Spicy wine?
One of the things that you will definitely notice with Gewurztraminer is it's very aromatic, sometimes overly perfumed, like, your great aunt that wears too much perfume. You're like, oh my God, could you stop hugging me? Ugh. It'll get that if it's bad. But it should be crisp. It should be aromatic. It can be sweet. It can be dry, kind of similar to Riesling. You can make it in a lot of different ways. So this is like jasmine spice leaping out of the glass.
I don't know what to say besides, this is not as painful as the Gewurztraminer that I had with Tyler's grandpa.
This is good.
I would not drink a full glass of it. It is too much for me. But it does not taste like a bad wine like the previous one. It
is a good, well-made wine. It has like that, like jasmine, kind of like some rose petal, very, very aromatic.
It has, to me, the tiniest hint, and this is like the perfuming, the like, if you are a person that has been pregnant and gone through the diabetic test where you have to like drink this like syrup liquid, it reminds me kind of that, but just in a tad bit. And that a little bit was in my head of like what I remember from Gewurztraminer from like a million years ago when I first had it. It's not bad. This I would say, I don't, without knowing too much, feels like a well-made Gewurztraminer. But
I like Gewurztraminer blended into like a little bit of Pinot Blanc or something like that.
I could see that.
Give it a little bit more body, a little bit more sweetness, and a little bit more aromatics.
A little more sweetness?
Yeah, because this is off dry.
Yeah, but
here, let's do an experiment real fast. So this is what they do in Alsace. So let's give you a little Pinot Blanc.
Yeah, we don't have enough wine. Also, I referenced this just a bit ago. We previously last year is all German wine sweet? So we've already answered that question, but you can check that out.
We're going to do the movie theater blending thing.
What's movie theater blending thing?
When you go in the fountain machine and get all the things. So we're just going to add a little bit of Gewurztraminer to your Pinot Blanc.
Okay.
Let's see what you think.
I'm mixing it up. Oh, yeah.
Gives it a little bit more body, a little bit more aromatics, and a little sweetness to go with all the acidity.
But so...
This is a very French thing to do.
I don't know if it's just this, we're how many wines in? 4? I don't know if it's the fact that we're 4 in or if it's the latest one. I have that like mouthfeel of like too much sweet wine, which this isn't. I don't know how to explain it. It's like this is so gross, like phlegmy almost.
It is. Mm-hmm. That's what the sweetness does. Have a little water.
No, what?
You got some water?
But that's what this is my general complaint about sweet wine.
With sweet wine, you need a ton of acidity to back up the sweetness usually.
Like, how do you possibly drink 2 glasses of that?
You don't. That's why you need... The really good sweet wines have a lot of acidity to balance all off.
Good. This was a nice mixture. Great job.
Thanks. If you like that, off topic, Hugel Gentil, or as they say in America, Hugel Gentil, it's a blend of most of these grapes together.
Okay.
It's French.
I could get on board with that.
Okay, Bridget.
If you want this. Sorry, I'm just digging out. Oh no. This was hidden at the bottom for a reason. This, everybody, is the blue bottle of Riesling everyone knows and loves or hates.
So I have very good sweet Riesling in my house, but I thought for the purposes of this, we should pull out a bottle of Relax. In a lovely clear blue bottle, very sweet. German Riesling.
I would put this like this is like the first wine someone drinks when they're 21 or whatever, and you want to say you drink
this
wine.
Is like when you're 15
I know, really,
and you're at grandma's house.
Really, I was like, when you're like 16 and say you drink wine, it's this because it's man.
Also, fun fact: Kathy Vorpagel appreciates this bottle of wine.
Oof. It's not my cup of tea.
That's my mom.
That's exactly how I expected. I knew it would taste.
This is sweet.
Ugh.
And that's about it.
I'm not going to drink any more of that.
To me, it tastes like pineapple juice.
But listen, it has its spot, right?
The pineapple mandarin orange fruit cup.
Oh my God, my kids love those.
That has like the syrup in the bottom.
Yeah, the disgusting
That's
syrup.
what it tastes like. but a little bit more acidity to it.
Okay, yeah, a little more acidity. But man, actually, I used to love that juice when
did
I
too.
was like 12.
Okay, so just go back.
Oof.
Also, it was like when you were 6.
I don't know, man. I feel like I
you're a
liked
late
those
bloomer
for a
on that.
long time. My kids love them, and they're 2 and 5. So
All right, so
Oof.
let's dump this. I
this
know you don't
gives
want
me
this.
an immediate like just pit in my stomach. This brings me back to gut rat. Thanks for that.
Let's give ourselves a rinse with some of the bubbles.
Whew.
And let's touch base on these white wines. Everybody thinks a German wine is white wine, and that's for good reason. It's the majority of Germany's wine production.
I will say that you did a nice job in the tasting because they're actually in order of how I like them so far. Great job.
Killing it.
I mean,
so
least painful to most. So
for
far.
the listeners, what are some takeaways that you have? What are some thoughts?
So my assumption was correct about some things and not others are my main thoughts. Not all German wine is sweet. I'm surprised by a couple of them. Specifically the sparkling. I don't know if I've ever had a sparkling Riesling. I'm kind of sad that it's not. I don't mean to say it's not well known, but would this bottle be comparable to any other sparkling wine that we would purchase?
Yeah, it'd be pretty close to like a Cremant de Lemieux or some of the sparkling
Like,
wines
what's the
from the
price
south
point,
of France. That's
roughly?
about $20 to $25.
Okay, so maybe that's why. Because people might not risk a sparkling Riesling
That is
for a
true.
$25 bottle. But tasting
and-
it, I would drink it again.
And a challenge with that is that people that see Riesling want it because it's sweet and don't want to pay $25 and then are disappointed that it's not sweet.
Yep.
People that like dry wine see Riesling and don't necessarily think that it can be a dry wine. So one of my great things is let's make people realize.
This is me, and I've done a number of these with you so far, finding out that not all German wine is sweet. And I still, after tasting and knowing that they're not all sweet, I still hold that preconceived notion. So that's a tough thing to change. But I like this sparkling one. This has lots of bubbles. I would purchase it. The next takeaway I have is that none of these have been very full-bodied, which I feel like is going to be a thing.
It's a
across the
cold
board.
climate,
Yeah.
like for sure. It's a cold climate, and you're never going to get a lot of body out of that.
Yeah, which is so generally not my style. I would not probably purchase any of these besides the sparkling one. Definitely don't ever need to see the bottle of Relax in my life ever again.
You might purchase the Gewurztraminer for Tyler.
I might. You're right. I might purchase the Gewurztraminer, and I didn't mind it. The same then. Really surprised by the Pinot Blanc. I liked it. I might buy that for a group of people that I'm not really sure about their wine preference, because I feel like that's not. No one would hate that wine.
I agree. Nobody would hate that.
So hey, I don't really
Especially
know.
in the summer.
Yeah. So this is an easy porch kind of wine. So I might think about that, which was a good takeaway. I don't feel like I need I'm going to actually switch. I'm going to put the Gewurztraminer above the Muller Thurgau.
So I grabbed the excellent Wine Folly Master Guide book, which we love. We refer to a lot. Madeline Puckett with Justin Hammack wrote this book and pulled up the Germany page. So Riesling, I think about 70% of what Germany, maybe 65% of what Germany grows is white wine. Riesling's the number one. Muller Thurgau is actually second, which shocks me. And you can see it's a pretty decent amount there.
Wow. Where are we looking? Oh, wow.
But the next two grapes
Holy cow.
are red grapes, Pinot Noir and Dornfelder. After that, Sylvaner, which is terrible, Pinot Gris, Bloyer Portugieser that I've never heard of, then Pinot Blanc. So anyway, and she has two good facts in here that I should share about Germany that make their wine interesting and great to drink for Oktoberfest. They were really kind of the first people to do single varietal stuff, like before Americans did that. The Germans with Riesling were like, we're going to grow one grape, grow it well, not mix it together and say it is what it is. And the other thing is they really are leaders with organic production and biodynamics. Biodynamics actually come from Germany, got their start there. So with a lot of the their certifications are different, so you won't always see it on the label. But all of these producers, with the exception of Relax, are certified sustainable type of people, which is really pretty cool.
So wait, we touch on the blending again. Is that do a lot of German wines blend or not blend at
German wines are almost exclusively single varietal. They do no blending.
Okay, that's what I was looking for to see if any of them.
With the cool climate, with how their wines really are focused on being aromatic. If you like crisp, light, aromatic versions of whatever, these are great wines for you.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
I really do I think of our friend Tessa, who I know likes a sweeter wine. And I think of someone like that and a summer, you know, I got a text from my friend about going out on a boat and like, okay, these wines have a place in the warm sun if it's not too sweet. That's where I'm at so far.
And those sweet wines have a place in the cold German winter.
I know, which is so fascinating, actually, to me. Anyway, okay, this is entertaining.
All right, time for the reds. Bridget's going to hate these, I think.
I probably think I will.
Because they're light-bodied reds, and we know Bridget's opinion. Red wine should be big, bold,
thick,
and masculine. Man. I think we're going to do the Pinot Noir first. So Germany actually makes some really great Pinot Noir. It's very light-bodied. It's very aromatic. This one comes from
like Pinot Noir.
August Kessler, which is a great producer. They're getting a lot of really great plaudits for what they're doing. Look at the typography.
I feel like I've had this, or maybe I just have seen it since you bought it for this. I've not had it, meaning I bought it. Let me be clear.
Also, they have a new rating system that's called the VDP system. There's this cool eagle on it. If you see this eagle thing, but it goes. It's called Gutswein. Literally, good wine. Literally, the label on this says good wine.
Is there one that's bad wine?
I love German.
Buy this one.
I've never been able to learn any of the words, even though they're supposedly kind of close to English.
Supposedly.
But, like, y'all.
I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Oh, yeah, that is bright and light, man.
So this is the Daily August Pinot Noir. Maybe we should give it to Tessa, our friend that we just messaged.
Ooh, Tessa, tell me about the red wines you like. I do want to know people that generally are big fans of sweet white wine. Is there a red wine? Is there like a comparable red wine for people that love sweet
Lambrusco.
white? Oh, yeah, Lambrusco. I feel like people are buying bottles of Lambrusco every week.
I had a bottle of Lambrusco this weekend. It was delicious.
Really?
Yeah, we had some ribs, and we needed a sweet red with it.
Oof. Whoa. I do not like that.
It is funky.
Whoa. That is worse than I expected.
Wow, Bridget, slating the German
Oh.
Pinot Noir.
I don't know if that's just like in the order here or what, but that like actually made me cringe.
Wow, what don't you like about it?
Oof. I don't know, and I would need to drink it again to tell you, but I am nervous.
If you weren't watching, that was one heck of a reaction. I might
know,
need to redo our intro
I don't
and
know
include that reaction.
That was not me being, I didn't mean to purposely be dramatic. It just like shocked me. Okay, I'm going to do it again.
I think this is lovely.
Ugh. Very dry on the finish. Like,
It's
it makes my tongue go blah, blah.
So what this has, and
Like
a
that
lot of
description?
German or Pinot Noir does have, it's got like a mushroomy characteristic to it.
I can't taste anything. My tongue just
A little
feels
bit of oregano.
completely chalky.
It is delicious.
Does your tongue not feel that way? Or you
It's
like
a little
that?
bit, yeah. It's got very, very sour tannins. It's got like sour red cherry.
It feels like a Sour Patch Kid.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Oof.
A lot of acidity.
That is not a wine I would drink again.
If you're a Pinot Noir drinker that likes very crisp, clean, earthy Pinot Noir, so kind of like Burgundy, but without the Burgundy price tag, check out some German Pinot Noir.
I feel like you have to acknowledge its sour capability or characteristics.
Yeah, it's like a sour cherry flavor.
Okay, so if you're a Pinot Noir drinker that likes sour
That's
things,
what I said.
no, that would
Burgundy.
be the leading note to me that it is sour.
Do you know what they have
Tangy.
they have a fun word for this in German? Do you know what that is?
No,
Spätburgunder.
does that mean sour?
Yeah. Just
What does that
it's
mean?
like, I don't know, red Burgundy wine. I don't know.
This made me hate Pinot Noir even more.
I knew this was going to go this way, so I got one more red wine.
That was really bad. I don't even want to drink this next wine.
I mean, this is delicious, in my opinion.
I cannot believe the vast difference in opinion. I will try it again on a day that I haven't had all of the white ones. I'm not sure it'll make a
So
difference.
this is Dornfelder. This comes from Villa Wolf.
Oof.
2 from them. It was created in 1955, which I think is all you need to know. They wanted red wine in Germany. That was,
Oh, no.
whatever. It's a cross of a lot of things.
Nick clearly doesn't like this one, which means I'll like it.
Let's give it a try.
Oh, I'm gonna like it
this
more
is a
than
more medium-bodied one.
Is it sour?
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I just didn't expect that to be sour like that, man. That's just probably plenty. German red wine. I don't know.
So what Wikipedia says is, traditionally the red wines of Germany were mostly pale and light bodied, but new breeds of dark-skinned grapes led by Dornfelder have allowed the production of more internationally styled reds.
Yeah, this looks more like what you might expect. Oof. Well, this doesn't make me have a visceral reaction, but it's also not good.
It's not good.
Just tastes like watery, sweet juice.
Yep.
But actually, it's nowhere near as painful as that Pinot Noir was. Like, I would drink this. I would not have a repulsive reaction to it.
I think if you're at a beer garden and you don't want to drink beer, but you like something that's kind of sweet, but it's kind of cold.
This is okay.
This is okay.
I would like this cold.
It's kind of cold.
Er.
Yeah, colder. I could see that. A little spritz. This would make good sangria.
Yeah, this is...
I think it's Labor Day coming up. Maybe I'll save it for my batch of sangria.
Yeah, it's not what you might expect from a red wine in a bottle. It like really looks like a traditional bottle of red wine, like a Cabernet.
It's a Bordeaux bottle, yep.
Yeah, and
I mean, this is not.
It's not. It's great for a sangria. That German sangria. Oh, I thought you were going to spit in there and have it splash all over me. Wow, this was red wine, not Germany, not a strong suit of Germany.
I can't even really give you tasty notes. It's like, I think Bridget said it.
I don't know. It's okay.
It's like...
It's a sweet juice.
It's like the Starbucks... What's the purple Starbucks? Not Starbucks. Starburst.
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm a classic
It's like
Starburst
that flavor.
person. Yeah, it's like a fruit that you don't really know what it tastes like.
It's a synthetic fruit.
Like where you're like passion fruit, but no one really knows what passion fruit tastes like. It's like that. You're like, ooh, this is dragon fruit, passion fruit wine. I don't know. It's fine. It's not a red wine I would like sit and drink and enjoy. It's just fine. This was disgusting overall. Thank you. So I will say, a couple shockers. I've already recapped them mostly because I'm going to mostly ignore the fact. Thank you. You've chosen my favorite. Surprise, surprise. The bubbly was, what wine should I drink for Oktoberfest? Well, sparkling Riesling. Sekt. Riesling Sekt. Is that what it's called?
Nailed it.
That was a nice surprise. I'm going to continue to say that. I like the amount of bubbles. I like that it's not too sweet. I would love to change the mind of people thinking, if you said Riesling, like sparkling Riesling, I'm immediately like, oh, great, sweet sparkling juice. So it's absolutely not that. That's fantastic. Stay away from German red wines. That would be my next takeaway. And then if you're looking for a white wine and you're not really sure what the people in your group drink and it's maybe warm out, I would do like the Pinot Blanc. I thought was a really nice surprise. Those were my quick takeaways.
So wine, more expert opinion. And like, if you like wine, drink beer for Oktoberfest. It's Oktoberfest, but
that's what we're saying.
There's people that are can't drink beer, don't like drinking beer, whatever. German wine is good to explore. They're doing some really cool things. Riesling is an incredible world. There's so much good stuff. Go to a good wine shop. Come to me. I'll hook you up with the wide world of Riesling. But look for some of these other varietals. People are going to try and tell you Muller Thurgau is good. People are going to try and tell you Dornfelder's good. If you want to try for yourself, that's great.
Good luck.
Good luck. German wine really is ultimately centered around Riesling. They're the best Riesling producers in the world. They make incredible Riesling. Mm-hmm. And their Pinot Noir, I know Bridget hates it.
Oof.
Their Pinot Noir is quite good. It's just a very different style than what you'd expect from California. So if you're a Pinot Noir drinker, check it out. The reds...
But is that because this is a different episode, but I'm still stuck on this. Like, I don't like Pinot Noir anywhere, so I can't. I guess you're right. I like the fact that I was repulsed by it here is not terribly surprising, but I want to find someone in between us, someone that's like, oh yeah, I like Pinot Noir, it's good, but like you guys love it in this household. Does the person who loves it as a traditional Pinot Noir really like that one we drink?
Pinot Noir has so many different flavor palettes that it really depends on what type of Pinot Noir drinker you are. If you like Meiomi, you're going to hate this. If you like red Burgundy, from France. You're going to love it.
Yeah, I've learned that I'm not a huge Burgundy fan either.
Bridget, you've worked hard today.
That's what I'm talking about, Nick.
We have a can of Revolution Oktoberfest.
Bridget, you've done what you needed to do. You know, when we were planning this one, guys, to say I wasn't looking forward to it was an understatement.
But she did it for you.
For you. You really need to see my facial reaction on that one, if not two of these. I'm going to stick with beer for Oktoberfest. I know nothing else to say. I'm sure there are gluten-free beer options if you can't have a beer.
Don't.
Just do something that's not. I also explore some German Rieslings. Nick is slowly expanding my horizons on that. It's just not a wine I gravitate towards, but I do know that they're not all sweet and painful now. So thanks for that, Nick.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We hope this helped you find some German wines that might be good for you, whether it's Oktoberfest or not. If it's Oktoberfest season, drink a beer. But we thought it'd be a fun theme to get you some German wines.
Yeah, now you know more, and you can listen to our one from, last October, see about German wines being sweet, and then here's a little bit more about expanding our knowledge on what to drink for Oktoberfest.
If you like this one, subscribe, follow along. We're on social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We will release weekly Pinkies Up, where we have a little bit of wine or whatever.
Weekly dinner plus drinks. Monthly Pinkies Up.
Goodness, I was thinking amuse-bouche.
So many things. There's also a weekly amuse-bouche where it's just a little bit of Bridget before our regular weekly dinner plus drinks.
Thanks for tuning in, Bridget. Prost.
Prost.